Okay, so maybe then let's introduce ourselves, quite official way. Good morning, everyone. Labasritas. I am Dr. Titty Varghese, official educational consultant for Indian students to study in Lithuanian public and private universities. Today, I am very happy to meet my dear colleagues from Klaipeda University, which is a top-ranked public university in Lithuania, and which is in basically Klaipeda. There are many Indian students, especially from South India, is studying from my side at Klaipeda University for bachelor's and master's programs. So thank you very much for this time. And since the application is going on, we would like to have more students who would like to study at Klaipeda University from 2026 September intake, which means your class will be starting from September 1, 2026. Dear students and parents, please note that the deadline is approaching and you need to have a minimum, at least, in my case, I would suggest 62 to 65 percentage in your 12th, and if you want to study masters, then we are expecting at least 65 percentage with a very good motivation, real genuine student who would like to study and grow into a perfect career through the help of Klaipeda University and me. So
In this case,
five different
five,
days or
uh, it's
how many?
continuously 5 weeks to one class, for instance, does not appear.
Okay, so which
Mhm.
means five classes for one subject, yeah.
Yes, yes. So, and in case if the student is excluded, that means that automatically we will report to migrations office, and migrations office will cancel TRP within 1 or 2 working days. This is
Okay,
how it works nowadays.
I see.
But maybe it's also important to say that people may get sick, ill, something might happen. Of course, it's always important to just get a notice to your lecturer that you're sick, that you're absent. These days, maybe you can do something about it at home, like home office, home studies. So that is a normal. These are normal cases, but people just have to know about it, and maybe some rational things like when it's a semester time. So probably nobody is going for skiing or somewhere out or back home just because there's a huge celebration. Typically, we have our schedule with holidays foreseen in the timetable, and it's normal to travel during the holiday period.
Mhm.
Okay.
And in our academic calendar, we have a vacation just once per year. Vacation starts officially from 1st of July up to 31st of August. So that time students can travel without any notification. However,
Absolutely.
yes, absolutely. However, in case if there is necessity to travel during these studies, it is absolutely needed to inform first of all the lecturers, the department, and then us. International Relations Office, because we really need to know where the student is to avoid misunderstandings with migrations and Lithuanian borders, because they are also checking and they are asking. They are, of course, they can see if the student is out of Lithuania, and then we receive an inquiry where the student is and if he or she was allowed to travel.
So technically, dear students and parents, please be very careful that you are coming to Lithuania as a student to study and to improve yourself. And it is mandatory for you to attend the lectures. And please do not skip the lectures in case of emergency. Please inform the international department. Also inform the concerned lecturers and get the permission. And then only you will be able to change your schedules, not just the way how you want to do it. So please be very careful about this when you are applying for the admission and during the interviews and all the procedures. So after 5 continuous weeks of absence, automatically your TRP will be getting cancelled, and then will they be able to apply again for the TRP? For example, let's say if a student is out of the university and then they come back to India, can they apply again
They
for
can, in
TRP?
case if department agrees to accept the student back. It all depends, on the student's attitude and what really happened to the student, why she was excluded. It can be considered. Yes,
Okay, and it is a decision of migration department if they want to give the TRP again or not.
absolutely.
So, the students, it's not a joke, or you can do everything just the way how you want to do it. No, it's regulations, rules, and it is strict for everyone. Okay. And now, could you explain about the main important aspect of relations in relation with after graduation? For how many months or how many years they can stay? Stay back is 1 year, but could you please explain by your side and any rules or regulations that is applicable for the international students? Can they do the part-time job or full-time job at that time? And do they need to give any specific documents to the university if they want to do the internship in any other different countries? Can they
Uh,
apply for Erasmus internship
mhm.
after their graduation?
Not exactly. They need to do all the procedure while still studying, and they need to provide all the necessary documentation when they are still in the process. They will not be eligible to apply for internship after graduation, for instance. However, talking about TRP, usually the students are being issued TRP for 6 months longer than they are supposed to graduate. And within those 6 months, they can apply for 1 year job seeking temporary residence permit in Lithuania. So during that time, they still can be declared at Klaipeda University dormitory, even if they do not have possibility to live over there. But it is a mandatory if the student is applying for temporary residence permit in Lithuania for job seeking. And of course, after this 1 year, if the student is fine and if finds job or work, so usually TRP process is taken by the employer already. University has nothing to do any longer with it.
So, from the university side, does Klaipeda University offer any sort of assistance or help to find the job or internship for a student?
There is a person who is responsible for the career, and the students can apply to that person. However, it's necessary to realize and to understand that job and work is already on students. Fully depends on a student, right? Because for instance, if the student is really active, so even here we have our alumni. Fatima is our student, former student, now continuing for masters. Additionally, we have our colleague from Turkey, Selenay, who also is working at International Relations Office. We have a student who is working in the dormitory, right? And we have really a lot of successful stories when the students find the working places themselves. Maybe we are not talking about Klaipeda as a city because it is a small city, but they can perfectly find a job, for instance, in Vilnius or in Kaunas after graduation.
So,
Especially we are in need, in engineers and in computer sciences at the moment. It is like priority in Lithuania.
okay. So the Career Center at the university will be able to help and assist the students to find internship or jobs and help with the CV, motivation, and things like that.
We have a possibility for them to help with the CV creation of motivational letters. On the other hand, nowadays, there is much more possibilities like ChatGPT, etc., which is also perfectly helping the students. However, the most work will be needed to be done by the student himself or herself to find possibilities for internship or for the job.
Okay, thank you.
And also, just to add about
So,
the
dear students
internships,
and parents,
typically
yeah,
departments have their partners list that they are working with. So in the department, they can also get some directions where to go to, where to ask to. It might be that.
okay.
And students can also attend career fairs organized by our university. It happens once or twice a year. So there are a lot of companies who come in this career fairs, mostly they're looking for engineers. So students can actually attend these career fairs, and some of them have even able to find a job through these career fairs. International students, so they can opt for this. And being an active student is very important. Attending these these networking opportunities, these career fairs, EU Connexus perhaps, so that they can actually interact with different people working in these industries. So it's very important for students to not just go to class and then come back, but to actually do something more. Otherwise, nobody is going to hand you a job on a piece of platter. So they have to work for it. I would also like to mention that there is a specific organization called Ujim to Tarniba, which is assisting foreigners in helping them create CVs and provide possible job related guidance for international students, which can help them. And they can go to this particular place called IHK, International House Klaipeda, which the job of this organization is to help foreigners assist in any tax-related matters or any health insurance-related matters, or for job seeking, they can go to Ujim to Tarniva. So they have different departments, and the job of IHK is to help them feel settled down in the city. So students can also go here. It's absolutely free. They do not charge them anything for consultations.
And when it comes to the insurance, of course, when the students are coming from India to Lithuania, they have Indian insurance. But when they land in Lithuania, if they are getting sick and if they want to go to the hospital, do they need to pay the amount to the hospital, or is it free, or do they need to take any additional insurance from Lithuania? How it is working?
In case of emergency, usually the expenses are covered by the insurance company. However, if it is not emergency cases, in this case, they need to pay.
And for emergency cases, they don't need to pay. And what I would recommend students who don't have a job in Lithuania, because if you have a job in Lithuania and you're a student, then your insurance is covered by the company automatically. But if you do not have a job and you're only a student, my advice would be to purchase an insurance in Lithuania.